Okay, back again in another live stream broadcast or podcast or whatever that is. So basically, I'm in the unintentional free time. So yesterday, I basically got the weekly intentional free time in the evening, but I eventually only able to do the good behavior recording for around 20 minutes, perhaps, or even less. I don't know, because I basically still in the sore throat, so I cannot obviously do so many recording as well for the good behavior, because yeah, it's basically gonna be so slow than what it used to be, and I basically need to decrease a lot of my volume from what I basically try to speak. Besides, yeah, from the previous recording of the good behavior before this, it's only around less than 20 minutes, perhaps. I don't know whether it is 16 or 17, I don't know. But yeah, there is several cough in the recording, so I basically tried to make it a single recording since it's supposed to be not that long. But yeah, it eventually contains cough because probably I basically tried to speak over and over again beyond the limits of what what I can prevent my cough, perhaps. I don't know. So basically, yesterday, the reason why I basically cannot do this live stream is because after I basically finished my good behavior recording, I basically got an unnecessary meeting as usual, which supposed to be not happen in the evening. It was initially in the afternoon, but yeah, it was suddenly rescheduled. Besides, I basically I basically got a sudden hangout with online hangout with my college friend as well. Even though yeah, I basically need to do it while I am on the meeting, so it's definitely not going to be a long meeting. But yeah, in the night there is an additional or an extension of those hangout. Even though yeah, it's still not that long. Oh well, but yeah, I basically still need to wait until several of them will finally come back to the same place that we can do a physical hangout. But I don't know whether they will really try to settle again, or it will just a temporary and they will try to come back overseas to pursue their dreams. I think that's the word that I basically forgot to express, which is pursue the things that basically act as their life path or goals or dreams or purposes. I don't know. So basically, I don't know what else that I basically want to talk about, because at some point I basically still need to prevent many of my desires, including the things that basically pretty cheap for me to fulfill before I basically try to prevent this. Because yeah, even though it was technically small, but since it is definitely not a necessary thing, so when I basically try to bought it over and over again or fulfilling my desire, then it's basically gonna be quite worthy, or can actually be prevented for so long, so many times ago, in order to fulfill my desire faster, especially when it comes to spare quite a lot of money to achieve. But yeah, it's, I don't know whether it is definitely more worthy than just spending many cheap things, or I basically, or it is basically better for me to spend very rare, but it's way much bigger, and it's basically pretty much equal to what I basically try to spend, perhaps, or it is far from equal, because yeah, basically I still don't know whether if I basically finally able to achieve that, will I am still able to prevent any kind of this cheap desire until the next six the next several months or not, because yeah, when you basically finally already achieve something that you already tried to spare for several months, or then you basically wanted to come back into your natural habit, perhaps, I don't know, because at some point you basically just wanted to enjoy your life, but yeah, at some point it just seems to be impossible if you basically try to do the same thing or similar thing until you're already gone from this world, then yeah, it's definitely not possible for me to become a millionaire, perhaps, because yeah, it's definitely 2,000, not thousand, I don't know. If that's basically, if I basically try to do the same kind of expenses, perhaps, I'm not sure, then it's definitely took more than a lifetime. So that's the reason why some people used to have a dream to become a millionaire, and they basically try to put it on the book, or even, I don't know, as a life story or biography, to achieve their first $1 million. Because yeah, if you basically try to use my own native currency, then million is definitely not far from equal from what a US dollar or many currency that have there's already a redenomination, I guess. So so the native currency in Indonesia will also got a redenomination, so it's basically 1,000 lower than it was used to be. But yeah, it's basically need to be a long process, because I don't know, maybe it's just so hard, or it's just need to be socialized very long. But yeah, it's definitely will make it easier, especially when it tried to be accountable, I don't know. So it's only 8 minutes, so I basically need to upload or schedule or directly publish my native language podcast in this day, even though I basically already tried to edit several of them until a whole season. But yeah, for the next season I'm still need to record 4 more episodes, which I just don't know when. Hopefully next week I'm able to do that in the weekly intentional, because yeah, at some point, even though I basically got the enough free time, maybe because I basically in the sore throat, man, I just feel so tired and just want to rest, because yeah, basically if you talk about this kind of disease or illness, the best cure is definitely take rest, because it's definitely caused by a virus, and a virus will only able to be killed by antibody, perhaps, or an antivirus. But yeah, antivirus is not easy to be sell, because yeah, it's kind of like have resistance if you basically try to consume it over and over again. So that's the reason why it's still better to rest whenever possible rather than consuming those antivirus unless it is really urgent, like during the pandemic that most people already said it is over. So I don't know. So basically, we just never know that what will happen in the future related to the virus because it's just so unpredictable. But yeah, most people are wasting that virus is basically not a bad things, and it's not like what was shown in the movie, which can be so deadly. So that's the reason why people always got confident with their own antibody, even though, yeah, basically, virus is kind of like spiritual things because, yeah, it's just very small and it's basically cannot be considered a living things, but yeah, it was definitely a parasite that makes you broken, I guess. I don't know what's the appropriate word for that. But yeah, my iPhone is still on 92%, so it's definitely because the good behavior recording that I basically tried to record before this is not that long, so that's the reason why. And what else did I basically want to talk about? So I just don't know when will I finally able to create a content that's, I don't know, can be enjoyed by many peoples and peoples can get advantage from there because at some point, I don't know, even if you basically try to publish into your closest surroundings, most of them will definitely not really like your content either. So that's the reason why it's just so hard to create a good content that basically fit for everyone. So basically, the closest surrounding is technically kind of like a representation of what will happen in the bigger scope. But yeah, when it comes to bigger scope, then the one that the very small people that probably like our content will also get bigger if you basically can amplify those scale. So that's the reason why. But yeah, it still definitely depend on what the majority thinks about your content. So including the one that hates you, probably, even though, yeah, for some reason, if you basically try to see from a very small scope or scale, then yeah, the hates may not as big as when you basically try to amplify it into a bigger scale. Then the hate may seems to be really provoked by a certain provocateur, perhaps. I don't know whether it is actually correct words as well. But yeah, I think I will try to end this stream perhaps because yeah, I just feel so tired and just want to lay down on the bed for a while before a meeting in around 1 hour. So yeah, hopefully it was gonna be not so meeting, not very long meeting because yeah, at some point it just feel annoying.